Right now, this is what we're doing. So here's another setup. We are now here on this house, probably built around 1900, moved up on top of the hill from down below, where it flooded the whole town of Aurora. And it's a log cabin that's been added onto and added onto and added onto, which is normal. Now, air conditioning rotted out the floor joist supports, and then we crawled under here, and I guess I'll show you some of the things that we've done and some of the things we're going to do. Why don't you take a walk out there and look at the top of the house and the front of the house, how it drops, and then come back. All right, so how about we go underneath and take a look at what we've done, and Clay will have to be miserable and who's running the camera.
Go from the other side, probably.
Yeah, let's go in from the other side. It's a good idea, Drew. So these are rough sawn 2x6s. You see how rough the texture is here? And this is again another beam that was put in to support, and it's rough cut. They put in wood on top of rocks to support it. We're going to change that. And if you notice, you can see the axe marks where these, see the knots where the trees were. And that's what they've done to square up this log into a beam. And then they used rocks to support it. And we're going to change that. We'll put in blocks, and
Well, we won't have any more rocks. We'll put blocks in.
yeah, the rocks will be gone, except for the outside. And eventually, it'll look much, much better. Come on up here with me. I don't know where my light is. Can you get? Do you see anything?
I see you.
Can you see the bark and everything on this?
Yeah.
All right. So this is an example of the floor joists that were put in. And that's a beam right above the camera there, made out of a tree. And all these were down really far, and we supported them with piers under each one. Now, why wouldn't I put a beam? Well, first of all, the beam would stop me from getting up that way, getting underneath it. I'd have a hard time getting to it. So I brought a steel beam with me on the trailer, and I could get it up here, but then I couldn't get around it very well. So I decided to go ahead and do the extra work, put in legitimate piers to support all this. And we have got the, you think we can go on up here, we'll take a look at it? Okay.
You already got me under here.
This is a legitimate support. The problem is what was supporting it was up there, and it was notched. Can you see those notches?
Yeah, right there.
Up there where the ends of these boards are notched to sit on top of another one. And the weight started breaking these, because can you come over here and show that break right there? See that crack on the, just past that pier? You want to get up there?
There you go. I got it.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then see the crushed beam that's up there?
Yeah.
That's what we're fixing. And all that is an example of all the beams that we've been working on. The floor is really level now. Probably hasn't been in a long, long time. But we still had to support the front wall because it was sitting on top of the beam that supported these floor joist / wood logs with axe flattened top. So that's what we've been doing, is we've been jacking this up very carefully in here and cracking and popping and fixing so it would quit cracking and popping. And we got this part, except for the very front of the house, which is a log cabin. We got to jack that wall up. Then we went over this way. Which, about 6'3" frame is having a hard time. This is an example of the beam that was supporting all of these beams. This particular beam got wet for a long time, probably from the air conditioning. And so when we jacked on it, it broke and it broke. So we've ended up putting a 6x6 on this side, 8 foot, and then 3 foot or 4 foot on that side to support the same weight. It's just carrying the floor. But the front of the house was sitting on top of this right here. And of course, it's not in good shape at all. So we've got to jack that up. And thank you. Now, this concrete there's some concrete, and you see that?
Yeah.
They put screen and then poured concrete. There was actually a beam here that got ate up by bugs, probably termites, but didn't get to this. So they poured concrete on top of it so that they'd have something solid to walk on. It's not there anymore. And we've got to go up with this side quite a bit. And that's what we're doing now. This is an addition, and you can tell by the difference in the floor covering from there to here. These are they're rough cut, sawmill cut 2x6s. They're literally 2 inches wide, but they're 16 foot long, and that caused it to sag in the middle. Now we're supporting the middle and taking it back up because it's settled the middle of this house probably 6 inches. The front sagged also, which caused the roof line to look bowed from one corner to the other. So we're fixing all that. We're doing that with 20-ton jacks and steel plates on top of them so we don't crush the woods as much, and making sure that we have a very secure and level bottom, and going up slowly and wedging up, putting in new piers, which we've got to put one here, maybe right here. Pan over that way and you'll see what they had for piers behind you there, Clay. We got a rock set up. So that's why we need to put one here. And this one needs to be supporting this floor separately from this. Now it could be done with a pier that goes across both, but in this case we put one there because there is no weight right here. There's open wall. The weight is down that way. So here is the journey that we've been going through for days now. This is the 3rd day.
Thank you.
Hopefully you learned that you can do things.
And no power.
Oh yeah, the power was all out in the town 10 miles away, Huntsville.
Where we get our materials.
Where we couldn't buy materials. Yeah. Such an adventure. I don't know why the power was out, but the whole town was set for that. Police department had their own propane generator running. Anyway, such is the adventure that we have, and we will continue to make things better. That is what my goal is, to make other people's lives better. Okay, guys, we'll catch you a little bit later with another part of this project.